Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. We are going to knock a couple chapters out today. So, last time we left off, Isaac, he went to Abimelech. He got riches. They made a deal, and then he had to leave the land. But he is wealthy, successful now. God's still shown his blessing on him, and so he's raising a family. In Beersheba. So anyway, when Esau was 40 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and also Basemeth, daughter of Elon the Hittite. They were a source of grief to Isaac and Rebekah. So remember, Abraham sent his servant to find Isaac a wife that wasn't from the Canaanite people, because he knew that they were pagans, they were godless, and that it wouldn't be as much of a godly blessing to bring those secular people into the family. And so Isaac, even though he loves Esau, he's the oldest, he hunts game, and Isaac loves to eat wild game. He's a man's man, but he marries from the wrong tribes, wrong families, and the dad doesn't love it. So when Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak that he could no longer see, he called for Esau, his older son, and said to him, "My son." "Here I am," he answered. Isaac said, "I am now an old man and don't know the day of my death. Now then, get your equipment, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare for me the kind of tasty food I like and bring it to me to eat, so that I may give you my blessing before I die." So he's the oldest. He's about to get, the blessing and the blessing. But back then, the deathbed tributes and the blessings, they can't be undone. So whatever's said and done on a deathbed, that is what it is. And so remember, Rebekah had already seen the Lord, and she knows that Jacob is the promised one, her youngest son, who she loves. She's got like a twinkle in her eye for it. Remember, Esau, man's man. Jacob, very smart, cunning, but doesn't spend as much time living off the land like Esau. So he is more of kind of the mama's boy, and she knows that she's been promised good things for him. So now Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau left for the open country to hunt the game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Look, I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, 'Bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food to eat, so that I may give my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die.' Now, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. Go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, so I can prepare some tasty food for your father, just the way he likes it. Then take it to your father to eat, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies." Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, "But my brother Esau is a hairy man, while I have smooth skin. What if my father touches me? I would appear to be tricking him and would bring down a curse on myself rather than the blessing." His mother said to him, "My son, let the curse fall on me. Just do what I say. Go and get them for me." So Rebekah doesn't want to wait on God's timing. Remember, Sarah didn't want to either, and that's how Hagar and Ishmael, even though they know God promised, they're not being patient. So she's not being patient for Jacob to really jump to the front of the line here. That's her baby, and she sees a way to manipulate it. So not cool on her part, and even Jacob's like, that seems a little wrong. Like, I'm going to lie to dad and pretend to be someone else, so I steal the blessing of the oldest child. But mom is set on it. She is ready to manipulate whatever it takes for her youngest son, trying to fulfill whatever God had promised, but she's trying to do it her way, not God's way. And I think we do that a lot too. We try to fix things our way, and we worry about them. We're anxious about them when God's already said, "I got this, I'll take care of it." So anyway, so he went out and got them and brought them to his mother. Remember the 2 goats? And she prepared some tasty food, just the way his father liked it. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son, Jacob. She also covered his hands and the smooth part of his neck with goat skins. Then she handed to her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread she had made. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes, my son," he answered. "Who is it?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you have told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may give me your blessing." Isaac asked his son, "How did you find it so quickly?" "The Lord your God gave me success," he replied. So first they're going to manipulate it, and then it's wrong. He knows it's wrong, and now he's got to tell lie after lie to cover up the first manipulation. His mom got him into it, but this is not a good place for Jacob. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not." Jacob went close to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he proceeded to bless him. "Are you really my son Esau?" he asked. So Isaac knows what's up. "I am," he replied. Then he said, "My son, bring me some of your game to eat so that I may give you my blessing." Jacob brought it to him, and he ate. And he brought some wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come here, my son, and kiss me." So he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you the heaven's dew and earth's richness, an abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you and peoples bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed." After Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came in from hunting. He too prepared some tasty food, brought it to his father. Then he said to him, "My father, please sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing." His father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" "I am your son," he said, "your firstborn, Esau." Isaac trembled violently and said, "Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came, and I blessed him, and indeed he will be blessed." When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, "Bless me, me too, my father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing." Esau said, "Isn't he rightly named Jacob? This is the second time he has taken advantage of me. He took my birthright, and now he's taken my blessing." Then he asked, "Haven't you reserved any blessings for me?" So remember when last chapter Esau came in hungry, and Jacob had food ready, and he's like, "Well, I'll give you some food if you give me your birthright." He's like, "What's the birthright to me now? I'm starving." So he gave it to him, but now, even though he agreed and accepted it, he's blaming Jacob. So I think a lot of times that we might make a bad decision, and then the opportunity comes to blame someone else for that decision. Esau did that right there. Now, yes, Jacob took his blessing, but both their mom told him to. But now Esau is wanting to blame the first one on his brother. Now nothing's his fault, and he's pissed off. Let's see. Right name Jacob. Esau said to his father, "Do you have only one blessing, my father? Bless me too. Bless me too." Then Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac answered, "Your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dew of the heaven above. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from your neck." It's not that good of a blessing, right? But it is. Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. He said to himself, "These days of mourning for my father are near. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." So he's ready to do some Cain and Abel stuff. He's mad. But when Rebekah was told what her older son Esau had said, she sent for her younger son Jacob and said to him, "Your brother Esau is planning to avenge himself by killing you. Now then, my son, do what I say. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay with him for a while until your brother's fury subsides. Then your brother is no longer angry with you and forgets what you did to him, all sinward for you to come back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day? Um, then Rebekah said to Isaac, I'm disgusted with living because of these Hittite women. So she's about to use this excuse. So she's sending him away. Her little deception, Rebekah's, like she sent her son to do something wrong. So he does something wrong. Now she's got to send him away. They're in Beersheba. Haran is 850 miles. Like he's got to travel this on foot, all because of this. Mom got him into it, and now she's got to send him away. But you know what? God makes lemonade out of lemons, and it might have been part of the plan from the beginning. So she said she's tired of the Hittite women. They're Canaanites. They're pagans. They have different rituals. They're disrespectful. They're not good according to her. But she's also using this excuse to get Jacob out. If Jacob takes a wife from among the women of this land, from Hittite women like these, my life will not be worth living. So Isaac called for Jacob and blessed him. Then he commanded him, do not marry a Canaanite woman. Go at once to Padan Aram, to the house of your mother's father Bethuel. Take a wife for yourself there from among the daughters of Laban, your brother's mother. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and increase your numbers until you become a community of peoples. May he give you and your descendants the blessing given to Abraham, so that you may take possession of the land where you now reside as a foreigner, the land God gave to Abraham. Then Isaac sent Jacob on his way, and he went to Padan Aram to Laban, son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, who was the mother of Jacob and Esau. So remember, Abraham sent the servant to find a wife, which was Rebekah, for Isaac in their own people's land, so they wouldn't be, marrying and breeding with the Canaanites, the pagans, the bad ones. They really want to keep this a close-knit deal so that they may all stay holy. So she's about to send him on an 850-mile trip. So then Isaac sent Jacob on his way, and he went Now Esau learned that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him to Padan Aram to take a wife from there, and that when he blessed him, he commanded him, do not marry a Canaanite woman, and that Jacob had obeyed his father and mother and had gone to Padan Aram. Esau then realized how displeasing the Canaanite women were to his father Isaac. So he went to Ishmael and married Mahalath, the sister of Nebaioth and daughter of Ishmael, son of Abraham, in addition to the wives he already had. So Esau, for everything, he's the oldest, he's the best hunter, he tries so hard, and he's trying to win his father's love. So he does go to someone of their bloodline, their tribe, but it's from Hagar. Remember, Hagar had Ishmael. So it's kind of like the bad branch of the family, but he goes there trying to do right, and I don't think it ever really works out for him anyway. Let's see. We are at, so he attempted to return to his parents' good graces by marrying the daughter. However, he did not separate himself. So he never left the pagan wives, was the problem. He just married another one that his parents might please his parents, but he never left the pagan wives. So Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. When he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth, with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. There above it stood the Lord, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. So this was the first meeting between God and Jacob at Bethel, which is the house of God. And then I see on this occasion, Jacob dreamed of a stairway spanning the earth to heaven. So the stairway, the stairway is kind of a metaphor for the eternal God's desire to communicate with us. God wants us to be able to spiritually reach Him, and that there is connection. So let's see, take one of the stones. Let's go to the next. So when Jacob awoke from his sleep, he thought, surely the Lord is in his place, or in this place. So now he knows that this is a blessed journey, and right where he laid is where he knows the Lord is. And let's see, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. He was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. Early the next morning, Jacob took the stone he had placed under his head and set up a pillar and poured oil on top of it. He called that place Bethel, though the city used to call it Luz. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's household, then the Lord will be my God, and this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house. And all of that you gave me, I will give you a tenth. So God came to him, and he is going to God, and Jacob is, we're going to see, really be one with the Lord. But one of the most famous, we're done, but one of the most famous in 28 is, so Jacob he had a dream, and the Lord said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, the God of, I will give you and your descendants the land. So this is the one I like. 28:15, I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. We need to remember that God's made us a lot of promises, and he will keep all of them. But no matter what, his timing's perfect, and our journey will be blessed as long as we stay in communication with the Lord, and always try to do God's work. He's going to bless our journey, and our families ahead of us. So anyway, you guys have a great week. Love you. Happy New Year. And we'll see you soon.